but Grassi will be called for her first foul of the game. Wilshire McBurrow comes back in for Durantes. Remember, McBurrow sitting on 4 fouls. Quinones is as well for the Beacons, and she'll come back in as well, actually. So Quinones in for Staples. It'll be Haynes remaining out there with Jackson up front. Quinones, Grassi, and Williams the forwards. Govan working against Haynes. Garrier. Knocked away, good block. Looks like it was Gianna Williams who got her hand on that one. Quinones, back to Jackson. Quinones, back over to Jackson. So we'll get a foul there and a timeout called before the free throws. So 61-52. Jackson does hit the shot, but still a 9-point deficit. So we'll take another quick break, and we'll see if that three is the start of anything for the Beacons. All right, we are back from the timeout. 61-52 is the score. RIC on top and with possession. 3 minutes to go in this one, and if they can just avoid turnovers, hit a couple of shots here and there, the Anchorwomen should pretty much have this one. The three from Jackson does help, but the threes from Larry and then from Young were so big and really putting this game seemingly out of reach. Good interception by Quinones, but Garrier takes it back. Loose ball, scramble for it, taken by Williams. The Beacons do force a turnover. If they can do a couple more of those, they can be right back in this game. Jackson for Williams. Hand off to Jackson and a travel call. And that is not good for the Beacons. Just as it looked like they were getting back into it, they turn the ball over again. Under 2.5 to play now. Larry will inbound to Garrier. Govan driving in, finds Larry. Quinones went down in the confusion there. Offensive rebound, and that's big. Young finds McBurrow. McBurrow does not put it in, gets her own rebound again, and this time it falls. The lead is back to 11. Under 2 minutes to go, that should be about it for this one. The long possession plus the 2 points at the end of it for McBurrow. And credit to McBurrow for not fouling out. She's been on 4 fouls for a long time. Able to make a difference in the end of this game as Grassi just has to put up a 3. Not going to fall, and now with 1.5 minutes to go, this one is pretty much all but over. We'll get across half court and call a timeout, so we'll get just a couple more breaks in this one. 11-point lead for RIC. Beacons looking for a miracle, but probably just about to finish this one out.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university.
All right, we are back from the timeout. Rhode Island's ball out of bounds. A minute 27 to go, 26 on the shot clock. And they can take plenty of time off this one as Govan just keeps her foot inbounds, or rather inside of the backcourt. And a quick foul called on Haynes. Still a couple of fouls to give, so Anchormen will go back to the sideline. Young will inbound. Starting five back out there to finish this one out for RIC. Beacons with most of their starting five, but with Haynes in place of Mazik. Garrier for a quick two. Not going to fall. Tipped around. Larry gets the offensive rebound. Blocked by St. Cyrin. Minute to go. Beacons looking for a quick shot. Haynes hands off. And St. Cyrin sort of getting a bit confused. Long three from Jackson will not fall. That should just about do it for this one. And now just a couple more possessions, and RIC will be able to dribble this one out. Govan going up for a layup. Draws a foul, and that's just kind of rude at that point. But the referee does call it. So chance for a three-point play just to expand the score differential here. And that is the fifth foul on Quinones. She is out of the game. So Quinones fouls out with 35 seconds left. And it'll be Mazik coming on to replace her. 34.5 remaining. 65-52 is the score. RIC firmly in control of this one. Govan misses the free throw. And we'll get a timeout. So Coach Ball wanted to go over something with her team here, but this one pretty much over, just a formality of what the final score will be at this point. So we'll take one more quick break. 32.8 on the clock. We'll be right back. Getting a bit of an extended explanation over at the scorer's table are the referees, or giving one rather, and we will now come out of this timeout, maybe the last time out of the game. Jackson will drive in. Difficult layup, not going to fall. Mazik looking for the rebounds. Still fighting for it. We'll get a jump ball call, and I believe the possession arrow favors RIC. Oh, no, it will be the Beacons. They got it last time. It was a long time ago, so. Jackson off the inbound, finds Haynes. Jackson steps in. Long two. Might have gotten tipped, might have just missed. But that should do it for this one. If they can just get across half court, they can run the clock out. And a needless foul from Jelani Jackson. Extended this game just a few more moments. That is the fifth one, so we'll go to the free throw line and have a few more formalities before we finish off this one. So with the loss, the records for UMB will go to 7-5 in conference, 16-5 overall. Rhode Island College will improve to 10-3, 18-4 overall. Govan at the free throw line, just looking for a couple more points. She'll get one. We'll see if she can get both. And Govan hits both. So 67-52. Beacons looking for one more shot. Jackson, reverse layup, not going to go, and that will do it. So, big win here for Rhode Island College. The Anchorwomen improved to 10-3, firmly in second place in the Little East Conference. Beacons fall to 7-5. Unless Catholine's game turned around drastically, they also lost today, so we'll confirm that for you in the post game, but they should still be tied for third. And the final score is going to be 67-52 in favor of Rhode Island College. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with an interview and then wrap things up with some stats and highlights of today's game.
My name is Kirsten Morrison, aka Keek. I'm a senior here at UMass. I'm in the Exercise Health Sciences program, and I play volleyball, basketball, and softball. I came here for volleyball, and I chose between basketball and softball, and I went with basketball my freshman year to play, and it's always kind of been a thing that I wanted to do is play softball my senior year. And after talking with Coach Dagg, she was like, yeah, come on the team. And I was like, all right. And here I am playing 3 sports this year. Being a Beacon, I don't even know if words can describe. Coming here as a freshman, I was a little nervous and scared. But, I walked in these doors and they all had open arms. They showed me the ropes. The coaching staff, the athletic staff, the chancellor, the vice chancellors, everyone here is so welcoming. And I really can't stress enough about how much this is really a second family for me here at UMass. I got my 1,000 points this year. It's amazing. I don't even think words can describe how I feel about it. It's something I've always wanted to do my whole life. And doing it here with my teammates and the coaching staff here is just an unbelievable experience, and I'm so happy to be able to do that. I'm doing my internship this summer at the Quincy YMCA, and I really hope to be coaching in my future.
Hello, everyone. Olin Hayes back here with Coach Christina Baugh. And Coach, tough loss at the end of the day. Fourth quarter just really slipped away. What went wrong at the start of that fourth quarter?
Offensive rebounds. I'm assuming that's what went wrong. I couldn't tell you exactly right now, but they looked a little tired out there, and the momentum, you could feel it shift, and we never really fought back to get it. So, that's where we're at right now.
You pointed out the rebounds. Rebounds were actually in your team's favor in the first half. Really, we saw that shift in the offensive rebounds. Was there any other thing going wrong you saw on the offensive end for the Beacons at this point?
Yeah, just stop going north-south to the rim and dribble happy instead of getting reversal, and then not playing confident, shooting the ball with open shots. And, again, the momentum shifted, and we never really regained it.
And one more thing, this loss drops you to 7-5. Should still be tied third in the conference. Catholic was also losing last we checked. What do you see going forward, going into the playoff picture in this? Still a tight contest, and your team looks still in place for third if you can hold on.
Yeah, there's a lot of basketball left, so, we'll digest Rhode Island and move on to Castleton, and it's one game at a time. I don't know if I'm worried about the playoffs yet. We got to finish strong. We got to finish the season the right way. So we didn't do that tonight, and we got to regroup right here.
All right, great. Thank you, Coach. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
We'll be back with some stats and highlights to finish this one up, and then the men's basketball game just after.
My name's Albie Daly. I'm from Able Park, New York. I'm a forward on the UMass Boston men's hockey team, and my current major is exercise and health sciences. Being a member of the men's hockey team is a tremendous honor, just because being able to play collegiate sport while pursuing my dreams of becoming a physical therapist and studying what I'd like to in school means a lot. My favorite memory as a member of the men's hockey team would probably be a big goal that I scored last year, the NCAA quarterfinals, ECAC's quarterfinals against University of New England.
What a turn in momentum!
Just because it was a big boost for both myself and our team moving forward.
Perfect shot right there over the shoulder of the goaltender, Drost.
Frozen Fenway was just our outdoor game at Fenway Park, and it was a tremendous experience, I think, both for me and the guys on the team and, you know, the program as a whole. But we got to see the Red Sox locker room, which was an awesome experience, and just being at Fenway Park when you go to school in Boston is second to none, really, and that's what you look for, you know, when you're trying to experience collegiate athletics, and it's a really cool thing to be a part of. Being a student athlete at UMass Boston is a tremendous honor, just because it gives you the chance to really focus on your studies in a great academic environment while, you know, pursuing what you want athletically. So it's a pretty powerful thing.
I'm Alexa Capion. I'm from Messina, New York. I'm a junior on the women's ice hockey team, and I'm an exercise health science major. But when I got here, I met Coach Harris, and I saw the facility, and I met a couple of the girls on the team, and I pretty much got a feel of the program, and I knew right away that this is where I wanted to go to school. We have all league games for the rest of the year, so that's going to be a huge test for us. We need those points to hopefully come out with a good standing for playoffs. A couple of highlights from the last couple of years that I've been playing was probably last year when we won our first Codfish Bowl. We made history that year. I was really excited to be part of that. I don't have very many goals, but when I do score, it's definitely a big deal.
That's a goal!
For the past 3 years, we've had Emily. She is a member of the Team Impact program, and that's for children with illnesses that want to be part of a collegiate program. She's great. She comes and watches all of our games. She has her own jersey. She has her own stick. We've got her all this equipment. It's really awesome to have. She gives us a lot of motivation, and she comes in the locker room and talks to us before games, and it's really cool to have her here and be part of our team. When I graduate, I definitely want to go to graduate school, most likely for either athletic training or physical therapy. Our trainers here have definitely given me an insight about what it takes to be an athletic trainer. They're always on top of everything. They always know how to help us and what to do and what not to do. They're always there for us when we need them, and that's given me a lot of help with what I could be doing after I graduate, so that's nice to have them.
Psychology is about understanding the individual and understanding the mind and understanding how it affects others.
Hello everyone, Olin Hayes back here with our post-game stats, and if we take a look at this, and the field goal percentage really fell off for UMass Boston in that fourth quarter. RIC ends up with a big edge on that, and in rebounds, they end up right where we see them on average, plus 14 on rebounds. It was something Coach Bob pointed out, something that was clearly very important in the turning of this game from a very even first half to a dominant fourth quarter for RIC. That's really the big one that stands out. Assists go along with the more points. Free throw percentage higher for UMB, but RIC hit some of their clutch free throws down the stretch. The three-point percentage stayed good for UMB, but just not enough to contest. 42 rebounds, a lot of those on the offensive side from Fataya Larry and Wilshire McBurrow near the end of the game. As we look over at the team leaders for today's game, and this one, pretty much what you'd expect. Sophia Guerrier, 21. Fataya Larry with 15. Larry with 15 points, 15 rebounds. A huge day for Fataya Larry, especially with McBurrow getting into foul trouble. We saw Larry really take over in that second half. On the UMB side, Jackson with 15 points, Grassi with 10. Gianna Williams leads the way with 6 rebounds, but the rebounding just wasn't there in the second half. And we saw a couple of steals from Tutkus. We didn't see Rachel Tutkus playing much. She ended up getting into foul trouble as well. No one particularly leading the way in assists or blocks. But really the points from Guerrier and Larry and the rebounds from Larry, the big story in today's game. So the final score firmly in favor of RIC. They win it today 67-52, and that'll do it for our first broadcast. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Olin Hayes. For everyone else on the production team, we'll see you in just a few minutes. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Clark Athletic Center here in Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Olin Hayes, and I'll be here with you one more time as we watch UMB on the men's side now taking on Rhode Island College. RIC was able to get the win in the women's game earlier today. We'll see how the men's game goes between two very evenly matched teams. You see very similar records across the board here. 7-4 in the conference, 13-7 overall, versus 7-5 in the conference, 14-7 overall. And we'll take a look at how that stacks up against the rest of the LEC here. And it's UMass Dartmouth in first at 8-3, but a lot of these teams bunched up 2 through 6, very, very close. WestCon and UMB tied at 7-4. RIC half a game back at 7-5. Plymouth State 1 game back at 6-5. Keene State 1.5 games back at 6-6. Of course, that's all compared to second place. Add 1 to all of those for how far they are behind number 1. But this is a big game today, determining who could potentially get that second seed and that second first-round bye. UMB and RIC both in contention for it right now. As we take a look at some of the stats for the all-time series between these two teams, RIC, the all-time series here between RIC with a 41-34 lead, but UMB has won 8 in a row. The last win that RIC had in this matchup was in January of 2016. UMB winning a tight one recently. Dason Sinelli with 12 points and 11 rebounds last time, as we take a look at the team stats for these two this year. And UMB definitely a more defensive team, RIC a more offensive team. The percentages look a little better on the UMB side. Field goal percentage a little bit higher, 3-point percentage higher by 5%, pretty significant difference there. Rebounding margin, slight positive for UMB, slight negative for RIC. Turnovers identical. So it really comes down to that points per game and points allowed per game stat. Pretty similar differential, but UMB more defensive, RIC more offensive. So now we go over to the team leaders for these teams here, and it's Charles Mitchell leading the way with 16.5 points per game for UMB. Mark Munroe, the highest field goal percentage, over 50 there. Dason Sinelli shooting close to 40% from 3. Free throw percentage is Charlie Mitchell. He is still injured. He is not out of the walking boot just yet, so hopefully he'll be back soon, but does not look like he'll be playing at any point today. On the other side for RIC, it's Cheyenne Darby, 26.1 points per game. Absolutely dominant on the offensive side. 3-point and free throw percentage. Keyshawn Jacobs, another big offensive threat. And Benjamin Vezele leads the way in rebounds with 12 per game. And a surprising stat that Dason Sinelli also leads the way in rebounds. We talk every time about how he clocks in at 6'2", but plays so much bigger than that a lot of the time, and he's really able to get rebounds that you would not normally expect. Anyway, we'll take a look at our players to watch for today's game, and this is the matchup here, the scorers for these two teams. Charles Mitchell and Cheyenne Darby, 16.5 points per game for Mitchell, 26.1 for Darby. Pretty similar percentages. Mitchell a little bit higher across the board, but Darby does take quite a few more shots and also has the edge on free throw percentage as well. Also contributing with close to 5 assists per game. So Darby certainly the player that they run their offense through on the side of the Anchormen. Mitchell, one of the players that UMB runs their offense through. So it'll be interesting to see how that stacks up when those two go head-to-head. If we take a look at the coaches for today's game, and first we're going to take a look at Tom Glynn on the side of RIC. His second season with the Anchormen led RIC to their first winning season in a few years. Since 2014-15, actually. 27-19 overall record. Former head coach at Nichols College, another D3 school. And we'll go over now to the UMB coach, Coach Jason Harris. Harris, in his 5th season with UMB, won the most games that the franchise had won in a decade back in 17-18. 62-62 overall record, but it's a program that had been struggling before and has really found a lot of success under Jason Harris. They have now had 3 straight winning seasons, and he has really built this program up into a strong force in the LEC and beyond. They've been pretty good at a conference this year as well. So now we'll go over to the starters for these two teams. First, starting off with the Anchormen, and it is Darby and Jacobs, as we expect, at the guards. The other 3 are Tim Dang, Benjamin Vezele, and Jonathan Batista. We expect a lot of the scoring to come from those guards there, but We'll see what kind of contributions they get from the other three as well. As we move over to the Beacon side, and it'll be Charles Mitchell and Michael Boyd at the guards. Jason Sinelli and Mark Munroe out with Tommy Burris. Burris picking up the start in today's game. The freshman has been a key part of this team so far this season. Has done a very good job sort of filling in for the void that was left by the injury to Charlie Mitchell. It's been a combination of Burris and Mariano Rodriguez getting a bit more playing time. So those are your starters for today's game. Now we'll take a look at the keys to the game for these two teams, specifically for the Beacons. Big one to be the aggressive team. The Beacons need to make things happen. This is a very offense-based team in RIC. The Beacons really need to dictate the game and run it at their pace. And this team also eliminated any rust from that tough loss to Southern Maine just a couple of days ago. Close game, 80-78. Tight conference loss. A win could have put them in a tie for first place in the conference. And same thing we said for the women's team. Play smart defensively, and this is a very different context for that. On the women's side, they were coming off of a game where the last time these two teams played, it had been a defensive battle the whole time. This time, this is a high-flying offensive team in RIC, and UMass Boston is a very strong defensive team that plays very well if they have the lead and if they can just shut down all of your options with their defense. So that'll be the goal for them as we take one more moment here before we get to the tip-off here, and we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with the start of this game in just a moment.
I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
All right, here comes the tip. Munroe against Dang. And Munroe wins it. UMB has the ball, and we're underway. Michael Boyd in possession right now. Hands off to Charles Mitchell. Driving in, Mitchell puts it in over the much taller Tim Dang. That's something across the board for the Beacons. I pointed it out with Sinelli pregame, but they have a lot of players who seem undersized on paper and play very well around that fact, or even just straight through that fact. They'll score a lot of points in the paint, even in addition to players like Munroe who do have the size. As we get an early travel call going against RIC. Charles Mitchell over to Tommy Burris. Burris cuts to the basket, misses, but Munroe gets the rebound and puts it back. So a good cut to the basket by Tommy Burris, misses the layup, but Mark Munroe right there, uncontested, offensive rebound and the putback. So a quick 4-0 lead for the Beacons to start off. A quick three from long range from Keyshawn Jacobs. That one does not go. Boyd hands off to Mitchell. Mitchell, a little bit short. And now coming back the other way, and the Anchormen will get on the board as Benjamin Vezele puts it in. Beacons looking for some space. Boyd gets it from Sinelli. Working one-on-one against Jacobs. Mitchell puts it in, and that'll be a three. Big three from Charles Mitchell. Boyd covering Darby. Batista. Hands off to Darby. And Darby trying to make it all happen by himself. Munroe not able to get the rebound, though. It's corralled by Batista. And now an open three from Vezele does not go, and Boyd gets the rebound there. So Darby clearly the player that they play through on this offensive side, but trying to make a little too much happen there as Sinelli comes back and puts it in at the other side. Darby, covered well by Burris. Back out to the three-point line for Tim Deng, and he puts it in. Always nice to have a center who can shoot like that as Deng brings it back to 9-5. High-flying offense in these first couple minutes, more so on the Beacon side, but a lot of shots going up. Munroe, hands to Sinelli. Tried to get it back to Munroe, then plays it out wide to Boyd. Mitchell driving in, found some space, and he takes it, 11-5. Charles Mitchell able to put that one in. Now driving in is Jacobs. Through a lot of traffic, and the rebound goes right to Charles Mitchell. Burris back to Mitchell. Has Boyd, and they'll play it back to him. Sinelli, open three. A little bit short. Burris looking for the rebound, loses out to Batista. Batista to Vezele. Vezele against both Munroe and Burris. Gets over the top and puts it in. Good play from Benjamin Vezele. Burris with the handoff to Mitchell. Mitchell misses short, and that one will go out of bounds. And we'll get our first time out of the game. So we'll take a quick break here with the Beacons up 11-7, and we'll be back with you in just a moment.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity. There's a lot of people. Here there's a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
Welcome back, everyone. We're out of the timeout here. Anchormen with the ball. Beacons up 11-7. And a quick shot from the wing from Jacobs will fall. Sinelli going in. That one misses. Munroe somehow gets the rebound, and he puts it in. Good putback from Mark Munroe. He's gotten off to a strong start. So just over 5 minutes into this one, it's 13-9. Quick three put up by Darby, not going to fall, and the rebound goes to the Beacons. Mitchell pushing the pace a little bit. Hands to Burris. Now gets it back. And this is one of the things that makes the Beacons offense pretty scary. They're able to just toss the ball around the perimeter, pretty quickly, look for quick openings down low or people who can shoot open threes. And they have so many good three-point shooters. As we see one right here in Jason Sinelli, that one will be a little bit short. But that's the kind of play that they're looking for, and that was a good play overall, just a missed shot from Sinelli, who ends up getting the steal on the other side. So no harm, no foul there. Boyd, open three, gives it back to Mitchell for an even more open three. Misses, but Sinelli for the putback, misses it again, and the rebound will be taken by RIC. So the Beacons offense looking really good as far as the plays they're setting up, as a long three will fall for Keyshawn Jacobs. But UMB missing a couple of shots that we usually see them hit. And we'll take another timeout here after the Keyshawn Jacobs long three-pointer.
UMass is very public service focused, and it piqued my interest, and I started doing more research on it. I'm very focused on what can I do to make the world around me a better place. My name is Lydia Grasso. I'm a junior at UMass Boston studying sociology and minoring in human rights. Because I won the Chancellor's Scholarship at UMass, it allowed me to go to Cambodia. I was working at the Sihanouk Hospital Center of Hope. I was in the place of something horrible that had happened. I could either go home and kind of forget about that experience and kind of block it out.
And we're back from the timeout. Beacons with the ball. They lead by 1. Tight game so far. We expect it to be a tight game throughout. As the Beacons put the lead back to 3 with that one. And Jacobs drawing so much attention after he hit that super long three. They don't want to give him any space anywhere on the court. Long rebound there is taken by Charles Mitchell. Not quite going to fall. Burris grabs the offensive board. Oh, and it's a travel. Unfortunate. Tommy Burris just juggles it a little bit, trying to keep it away from the defenders. It was a good offensive rebound to get that started. So we've played almost 7 minutes of this one. 15-12 Beacons is the score so far. As Darby tries to take it himself, and he puts it in. Not much of a way to defend that one. They had plenty of defenders on him, forced a difficult shot, but Darby puts it in anyway. Sheon Darby, freshman from Peekskill, New York, and has come in and immediately played a massive role on this team. As we mentioned, leading the way on the team, 26 points per game. Munroe, blocked. Big block by Tim Dang. Taken right back by Munroe. Puts it up, just missed. Sinelli keeping the pressure on, but the Anchormen will escape with the ball. A foul on the floor, it looks like. And now we're going to get a substitution as Z. Liu comes in. So Liu into the game. Quick shot, rebounded. Vezele gets his own rebound, misses the putback, but draws the foul. So Vezele will go to the line. And Z. Liu gets called for the foul right after coming off the bench. Vezele will hit the first free throw. Pretty good free throw shooting team, 70.7% on the season for RIC. That is tied third in the conference. Beacons come in last in the conference, 61.3%, one of their biggest weaknesses so far this year. And Vezele hits both, so 17-15, or 16-15 rather, the score. RIC up 1. Liu over to Burris for 3. Oh, just missed. In and out and rebounded by Jacobs. Boyd working against Darby. Darby goes in by himself. And he has made it perfectly clear that he is able to score on those kind of plays, but I still have to question the frequency with which he attempts those 1-on-3 opportunities, as Charles Mitchell will draw the foul and go to the free throw line. Beacons trail by 1. Mitchell can bring this back to a tie game or a 1-point lead if he hits these free throws, but for now we will take a timeout before that. So we'll take another quick break. 11:46 remaining in this first half. And after the first foul by Keyshawn Jacobs, we'll get some free throws when we get back from Charles Mitchell.
Psychology is about understanding the individual and understanding the mind. The main reason why I want to combine psychology and business degrees is because I want to understand the business decisions that are made. I'm Nurçin Çelebi. I'm from Turkey originally. I'm a senior at the 5-year BA to MBA program at UMass Boston. I think in management, the biggest mistake you can make is to not listen. So I want to be able to step into a company and say, here's what you're doing now, and here's how you can improve it. I moved here when I was 16 for high school. Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well, and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, and UMass helped me. I wanted to be able to improve myself. I wanted to be able to try new things, and I think UMass gave me a really good head start on that.
All right, we're back from the timeout. Free throws coming up for Charles Mitchell. First one will fall. And it looks like Mariano Rodriguez will get ready to check into the game as Charles will go 2 for 2. Burris will check out. Rodriguez will check in. So Rodriguez, another freshman, replacing the freshman Burris. And a lot of their depth really being tested now with the injuries to both Charlie Mitchell and Malik Lorquette, 2 of their key players. And a quick 3 on the other side from Jonathan Batista. But without Lorquette and Charlie Mitchell, forced to go farther down their bench. We see Zilu being the 6th man into the game. Burris getting the start. Rodriguez coming off the bench early as well. As Vezele misses on the fast break. And the thing is, these are still certainly good players, but it's sort of, these are supposed to be their last few, like some of their last or later players off the bench. And even if they're able to contribute, this team's going to get tired eventually, and that's been one of the issues here with all the injuries. As Sinelli makes a good play to get 2 more points on the board and tie it up. But just with the amount of injuries and the injuries to key star players, their depth is really being put to the test, and a lot of the individual players have really stepped up and played well. But it doesn't stop your team from getting tired if there's just fewer people out there to eat up those minutes. Charles Mitchell, Jason Sinelli wide open, misses the 3. And the Beacons are going to need to start hitting those open 3s. They've set them up so well and just not been able to convert. Jacobs, over to Batista. Eight to shoot. Jacobs, far away from the basket. Looking to do it himself, and that one misses. But it is tipped out by Mariano Rodriguez, and the Anchormen will keep the ball. A couple of subs coming in. Tim Deng and Mark Munroe, the starting centers, both checking back into the game. Zilu and Jaden Arold will check back out. Good pass down low from Darby, and Deng puts it in. So Shion Darby draws a lot of the defensive attention, and instead of going for the aggressive shot, just plays it down low to Deng. And a good pass to Mitchell. Backdoor cut working out perfectly there, Charles Mitchell. Very good at that specific play. Beacons run that a lot to great effectiveness, but only when you're not expecting it. So 23-21, more than halfway through this first half. 3-ball misses from Batista. Boyd out wide for Sinelli. Sinelli just missed. That one will go off the top of the backboard, and that'll be out of bounds. So if they had hit even just a couple of these open threes that they've set up, Beacons would definitely have the lead right now. Instead, they still trail 23-21. Certainly a close game, but the Beacons have played so well as far as the way they set up their plays offensively. The shooting just hasn't been there so far. Meanwhile, the shooting has been very good from RIC. We've seen some very long-range threes from Jacobs. Benjamin Vezele shooting at a high percent. Jonathan Batista contributing with a three. And the Beacons have actually done pretty well to shut down Sheon Darby relative to how he's performed most of this season. But now we go to the other side. Rodriguez, again, a narrow miss on a three. Dang going in, and that's going to be an easy dunk. Tim Dang puts it in, no chance for the Beacons. So that'll lead us to another timeout as RIC has expanded this lead to 27-21. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be back in just a moment. Hello, everyone, and welcome back from the timeout. 27-21 is our score right now. The Anchormen leading the Beacons, looking for their first win against UMB in their last 8 meetings. Or 9 meetings, actually. Charles Mitchell gets some space, shoots for 3, not going to hit. And again, a narrow miss. All these threes that are not going in, just really hurting the Beacons. Under 8 minutes to go in the first half now. Darby, down low, intercepted and caught by Munroe. Sinelli with space, drives in, draws the foul. So Jason Sinelli will go to the free throw line now. We'll see if he can hit here and close this gap a little bit. So Sinelli will go to the line now for 2 shots. And he hits the first, 27-22 the score now. And Sinelli hits both, so 2 of 2 from the line for number 4. Neither team getting themselves into much foul trouble so far, just 2 team fouls on each side. Darby for Dang, and the 3 again from Tim Dang. And they are going to need to cover him at the 3-point line. He's 2 for 2 from long range so far for the center. On the other side, defending Munroe now. Knocked away from Sinelli. He gets back. 13 to shoot. Mitchell driving in. Not quite, but Munroe on the putback, and it falls. Mark Munroe has been there and has been there reliably for that specific play today. Already quite a few points off of putbacks. So 30-25. Beacons bring it back within 5. Dang for 3 again. This one just missed. Boyd. Munroe all alone. Takes it himself. Draws the foul and puts it in. Vezele wanted a travel call. Mark Munroe will get the 2 points. It is now 30-27, and Munroe has a chance to bring it to a 1-point game, or 2-point game, rather. So Mark Munroe, tallest player on this Beacons roster at 6'6". And he hits his free throw. So the Beacons come in shooting 61.3% from the line, lowest in the LEC. However, today, 5 of 5 from the stripe so far. We get a push off the ball. I believe that's going to be on Michael Boyd. Nothing particularly harmful. It's just their third team foul. Boyd's first. So no one in danger of reaching the bonus anytime soon. Darby working with Boyd. Sends Jacobs away, wants the ISO. Down low for Batista. Pass intercepted by Burris. Fast break the other way. Burris trying to stay ahead of Deng. Oh, and a carry call. Unfortunate. Burris lost control of the ball. Coach Harris didn't see it. I didn't either. But the referee was right there. Unfortunate finish to that play for Burris. It was a good interception. Should have led to 2 points. So the Anchormen get the ball back. They lead 30-28. Just over 6 minutes to play here in the first quarter. And a travel. So before the shot or a foul could be called, that is going to be a traveling violation and another turnover. So UMB gets the ball right back. Score remains 30-28. Mitchell down low. Munroe for the putback again. Mark Munroe ties this game at 30. So another putback for Mark Munroe. He's got 3 or 4 of those already in today's game. Big first half in the paint for Mark Munroe. Burris with the block on Darby. Darby gets it back. Cannot quite slide it in. Rebound taken by RIC. But the defense has been very good on Shion Darby. Diving for it is Sinelli. Batista on the other side. Vezele now down low, 8 to shoot. Working against Munroe, and he will at least draw a foul. So Benjamin Vezele will go to the free throw line. Vezele at the line, hits the first free throw, puts the Anchormen back in front. And Keyshawn Jacobs will take a break. Jaden Erold will come back in. One of many freshmen on this team. And Vezele hits both free throws. Benjamin Vezele, one of 2 seniors on this team, along with Jonathan Batista, also out there in the starting lineup. Boyd driving in, gets it to go. And this is all tied up once again. 5 minutes to go, first half. 32-32 is the score. Tight game. Darby goes in on 4 people and does not pass. Wanted a foul call, but they'll keep the ball. So again, Darby has shown he can score in those situations. He had 3 open teammates around him that time and chooses to go for the 1-on-4 play again. But they do keep the ball. And Darby is not happy with the referees for not calling things. As his team throws the ball away, Mark Munroe gets the interception. Munroe at the other side. Should be an up and down there. Yeah, he landed before he released the ball. So still tied up. Anchorman will get the ball back. Keyshawn Jacobs will check back into the game. Batista will sit for now. And it's a small rotation for RIC here in this first half. We've really seen only 6 people so far. We've also only seen 6 players on the UMB side to this point as well. Starting 5, or 7, I guess. Starting 5 plus Zelu and Mariano Rodriguez is out there now as Mitchell gets the long rebound. 4 minutes to go, first half. Boyd. Mitchell for 3. Got it. Charles Mitchell puts it in for 3, and the Beacons are up 35-32. So inside the final 4 minutes of the half now. Beacons back in the lead. Darby covered by Boyd. And the pass. Vezele said it was tipped. There was no signal from the refs initially. It looked like it might have been tipped from here, but the referees will give the ball to the Beacons, and we will get a timeout here. 35-32 the score as we take a break. We'll be back in just a moment. Last 3.5 minutes of the first half.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
All right, we're back from the timeout. 3.5 to play first half. 35-32, Beacons on top, and they have possession. Zelu is back out there. And this time the backdoor cut does not work out. Well defended by Jacobs. Him and Mitchell going at it. 3 from Jacobs. Blocked by Mitchell. Got a hand on it. Aggressive play. And the Beacons get the ball back. Vezele not enjoying the calls from the back judge there. That one was hard to tell. I have no judgment from how far away I am. But the ball will go back over to the Beacons. 3 minutes to go. As the shot misses there. Mitchell tried to throw it off of Dang and out of bounds, but it will be out off of the Beacons. And another 3 opportunity from Dang. Not going to fall. Good rebound by Mariano Rodriguez. In some traffic there. Comes down with the ball. 2.5 minutes left. Munroe waiting to check back in. Boyd. Over to Lou. Zelu puts it in. So good to see Lou getting involved on the offensive side. He's played well on defense in his couple of minutes in this game so far. Now getting himself on the scoreboard. Vezele, one-on-one with Burris. Lou comes over to help. Shot misses. Dang knocks it out of bounds. Beacons will get the ball back once again. Munroe will check in, and Lou will check back out. Charles Mitchell out there with Michael Boyd, joined by Tommy Burris, Mariano Rodriguez, and Mark Munroe. The rotation for today has been those 5 plus Zelu and Dason Sinelli. Boyd Off the glass and in. And the Beacons on a big run here, 39-32 now. Or 37, oh yeah, 39-32. They're just slow updating it. But yeah, 39-32 is the score. Beacons up 7. A minute and a half to go in the first half. Darby out wide. And a 3 put up, not going to fall. Good rebound by Burris. Corrals it with one hand as it got past Vezele. Munroe in the paint. Just missed. Deng will get the rebound. Sean Darby with the ball again. And a travel call on Jacobs before that drive. So a minute 14 to go in the half. Beacons will get the ball back once again. Mitchell will inbound to Boyd. Beacons trying to expand the lead even further. They lead by 7 right now. Again, the Anchormen have not beaten the Beacons since 2016. They have not beaten them here since 2014. And that's a foul called on Jacobs. The Anchormen becoming increasingly upset with the referees. And that's actually going to be called a shooting foul on Vezele. And I was confused by that, as was Coach Glenn. Certainly looked like it was a foul on the floor, but they call it a shooting foul. Boyd goes to the line, misses his first one. First miss of the day from the Beacons from the line. See if he can hit the second one here. And that one will fall. So an 8-point lead, 40-32 for the Beacons. And a foul called as Jacobs went for a long layup. That'll be the second foul on Michael Boyd. Jacobs will go to the line. Oh, this one's not a shooting foul. Interesting. Substitution in here, and that'll be Mike Mayer checking in for the first time. He will replace Michael Boyd. Inbound play, dangerous one, but Darby does come down with the ball. In traffic, the shot is blocked. Harold went up against Munroe and a couple others. And it looks like this one will lead to some free throws, so it'll be Benjamin Vezele going back to the free throw line. First foul of the day on Mark Munroe. 47 seconds left in the first half. Vezele hits his first free throw. Boyd will check back into the game for Mayer. So Mayer just makes a brief cameo appearance in the game. And the second free throw misses from Vezele. So 1 of 2 from the line. It's a 7-point lead for the Beacons. 40 seconds to go in the first half. Boyd, high shot, not going to fall. Deng gets the rebound. Still 4 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Darby just going for the quick basket on the other side. Gets a little too fancy, but there will be a foul called on the loose ball after the shot. And that is the first foul on Mariano Rodriguez. 7th foul, should be a 1-and-1. So Vezele for a 1-and-1 here. Hits the first, so he will get the second free throw. Batista will check into the game for Harold. And the second free throw misses, so 1 of 2 again for Vezele. 6-point lead for the Beacons. 20 seconds to go. They can hold for the last shot of the half. Mitchell out there with Munroe, Burris, Rodriguez, and Boyd. Starting 5, but with Rodriguez in place of Sinelli. We've not seen a lot from Sinelli, actually, these last few minutes. He's been on the bench for a while as Boyd takes the 3, misses it. Mitchell with the rebound, and he stepped out of bounds. 3.2 to go. We'll see if RIC can make something happen with these last couple seconds or if they just dribble it out. Jacobs has shown he has a lot of range. I don't know if he has this much. It was pretty close. But that'll be it for the first half. So the Beacons go on a run in the middle of that first half to take the lead. They hold on to it here at the end of the half, and they will take a 6-point lead into the halftime break. 40-34 the current score. We'll be back with an interview with Coach Harris in just a moment, and then with some stats and highlights and the second half. Coach, good first half overall. You're up 40-34 so far, but a lot of missed three-point opportunities early on and a lot of missed shots, so that I think a lot of your players would expect to make a lot of the time. Were you happy with the chances that were being created early on?
I thought we settled a little too early, settled for a lot of threes, and then when we responded with our run, I thought we started getting back downhill, getting into the lane and making good decisions. You know, a little up and down, like our defensive execution hasn't been great, and that's why you see
UMass is very public service focused, and it piqued my interest, and I started doing more research on it.
You have two teams here with really
I'm very
small
focused
rotations
on
so far.
what can I do to make the world
team
around me a
team.
better
Do you
place.
expect fatigue to really become an important factor?
My name
later
is
on?
Lydia Grasso. I'm a junior at UMass Boston studying sociology and minoring in human rights. Because I won the Chancellor's Scholarship at UMass, it allowed me to go to Cambodia. I was working at the CNUC Hospital Center of Hope. I was in the place of something horrible that had happened. I could either go home and kind of forget about that experience and kind of block it out, or I could do something so that things like that never happened again. UMass provides me with opportunities that I wouldn't get anywhere else and gives me a global perspective in a public setting.
Great, thank you, Coach. Good
I
luck in the second
definitely transformed at UMass.
We'll be back in just a moment with some stats and highlights, and then the second half of basketball.
So as soon as I heard the news last Sunday, I immediately texted my teammate Winston Rodriguez to switch numbers with him because he had 24. Because Kobe's been such a big person for me growing up, a big impact on my life growing up as a basketball fan. He got me into basketball. He made me the annoying Lakers fan in Boston I am today that people can't stand. I just looked up to him. His Mamba mentality was big for me. My mom made sure I made his last game in Boston. That was an experience of a lifetime for me. I'll never forget that. He had a double-double, 15 and 11. Even though my game isn't like his at all, obviously he's a shooting guard. I'm a big man kind of. he's still like someone I've always looked up to, like just his mentality and his work ethic and everything else just outside of basketball too. My first memory was him and the Lakers beating the Celtics Game 7 in the NBA Finals. That's when I really full-time became a big Kobe fan, followed him the rest of his career. Like I loved him since his 81-point game too though. Like that's when he was like having those scoring explosions, averaging like 50 over 6 games. He was just different. He was like our MJ, like for real. He was our generation's MJ. The first week was really tough. It was my birthday week, so like it made my birthday like not even feel real. Like it was just a weird day. It didn't feel right. And the rest of the week I was just like down in the dumps. I wasn't like really hanging out with my friends or anything. I was just going to class, practice, then going to sleep. I'm starting to like get a little better, get more involved with my friends again, but it was a real tough week. Recently, I've tried to add like the post fadeaway. I've really been working on that before I got injured, but I feel like, and like my mid-range game as a whole too, I feel like when I come back, I'll be able to like show that a lot because I was just starting to get comfortable with it in practice. If you ask the coaches and my teammates, just from here on out, I just want to change my whole like mindset around things. Like no more holding grudges against whether it be family or coaches or teammates. I want to like work hard. Like I'm usually kind of lazy, I'll admit it, but like ever since that happened, I just said, okay, I'm changing my mindset. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to actually get up, do what I have to do. I'm going to be a better teammate, better player to be coached. No more holding my head down. If my team's having a bad game, just keep my head up, pick my teammates up, all the little things. It's been really hard because I really wanted to like try to show out for him for the rest of the season, and then for me to get my first ever real basketball injury I've ever had. It's my first time ever having to be out for a good amount of time. That really hurt. It sucks, but like I just gotta be like Kobe and come back stronger, get through this injury, and help my team in the playoffs.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the UMass Boston Beacons Broadcasting Network. I'm Olin Hayes, and I'll be here with you for this halftime stats here. Field goal percentage looking very good for the Beacons so far. Coach Harris mentioned the lack of shooting on threes and them settling for a lot of threes early on, and that does show in the percentage there as well. RIC able to keep this game close with their three-pointers, shooting around 37% to the Beacons' 19 from long range. Free throw percentage, big advantage to the Beacons, actually. Not something we see too often from them. Rebounds pretty even, assists pretty even. And really, it's that shooting percentage from down low that's helping the Beacons get to where they are with this 40-34 lead. So we'll take a look over at the halftime leaders here. Charles Mitchell, 14 points so far. Munroe with 13. Mitchell came into this game with 981 career points, so he is now 5 away from 1,000 in his career. It would be the 15th player to do that in Beacons history. On the RIC side, Benjamin Vezele leads the way with 12 points, Tim Dang with 10. They've done a really good job limiting Shion Darby and Keyshawn Jacobs, who are those top two scorers on this team. Darby, of course, one of the top scorers in the country, averaging about 26 points per game. 26.1 to be exact. But Dang and Vezele have been the more consistent scorers, both coming in at 51% shooting from the floor, and those have been the ones we've seen shooting today. Munroe with 6 rebounds, Vezele and Batista each with 6 rebounds as well. Darby has actually played more of a role as a passer than a shooter, 4 assists leading the way. Michael Boyd with 7 for the Beacons. And that's about it for the relevant stats from the first half. So we will now go to around the Little East Conference here. Or we'll go straight through to the Beacon Spotlight on Josiah Lossie growing up in Cherokee, North Carolina.
Growing up in Cherokee, North Carolina, just the culture and heritage has stayed the same. Like they always keep it going throughout schools. At home, people talk the language sometimes, like elders, you can learn from them basically. And we have just stuff going out throughout the day that can help. And then also we have like a little academy that teaches like younger kids growing up to the language that keeps our language alive. Basketball in the Native American community is big where I'm from and all over the world pretty much. I mean, just That's like the only real sport that we actually play that's commonly been passed down with generations. My mom, she was a state champ back in '96, and my dad was a state champ runner-up in '92. So just carrying on just carry on the basketball legacy, I guess you could say. I tried to do my best to get to state, but I just wanted to keep it going because once they got me started, I really enjoyed it. And so they kept working with me and just to help me improve to get to this level that I am now. Mainly my dad, just like defensive wise. My mom, she was a shooting guard really, but she used to always get mad at me and never would like say I wouldn't pay attention when we'd shoot. She said I wasn't listening. So. But my dad, I took what he gave to me, I took that to heart, just defensively and like being able to be a point guard to read the floor, read the defense, and just create for players. I'm trying to develop a jump shot now, but it's still getting work on. It's a little bit harder to get your name out there. Basically, most people that get their names out there is through the AAU circuit. So like back home, it was kind of hard to get my name, to get people seen, but there was also schools around there that saw me and they were interested in me. But through Coach Morrison, Coach Mo, he coached my high school coach at Haskell University in Kansas during his college career. And so they met up and they talked. And so that's how I came up here to be a Beacon. Since like middle school, like I figured like, oh, I want to be an engineer with math, science. Like that's kind of a decent subject for me. So I just thought, and I heard that like engineers make a lot of money, so like I want to have a good career to make a lot of money and also go back to the reservation and be able to provide and help in any way I can.
Hello everyone and welcome back. Olin Hayes back here with you to wrap up our halftime coverage here. And we'll take a look around the LEC first. Castleton and Westcon locked in a tight battle at the half, 34 for Westcon, 35 for Castleton. That is an important game. As Westcon is the team tied with the Beacons, Castleton in last. So that would be a big upset if Castleton is able to pull that one out. Eastcon with a big lead on Southern Maine in two teams that are not exactly in the playoff hunt right now, but Eastcon could potentially get back there with a couple of wins in a row. And UMass Dartmouth with a pretty solid but not unmanageable lead at the half, 48-39 over Plymouth State. So some important games here as UMass Dartmouth looks to keep their lead. Westcon trying to keep pace with the Beacons. And now we'll look around Beaconville at some of the other UMB games going on today. If you were watching earlier, you saw women's basketball with the 52 points that they put up against RIC. Not enough for today, 67-52 the final score as the Anchormen were able to come out on top. Women's hockey about to play Plymouth State just next door. That starts in just a few moments. And men's hockey is on the road at Suffolk. That'll start at 7 p.m. tonight. So we'll take a quick look at the upcoming schedule for the UMass Boston Beacons. They got three big conference games coming up in the next couple of weeks. They got Castleton coming up middle of the week next week, 7:30 p.m. on the 12th. Then the 17th, they are on the road at Westcon again. That is at 4 p.m. And on the 19th, home against UMass Dartmouth. So as we get towards the end of this conference season, it is just those three games. Then they will have three more conference games, and that will be the end of the season. So now we'll take a quick look at some of the highlights from the first half, and we'll be back with you in a couple of moments for the second half. Munroe all alone, takes it himself, draws the foul and puts it in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Clark Athletic Center. I'm Olin Hayes, and I'll be here with you for 20 more minutes, at least, of today's basketball action. We saw RIC take down UMB in the women's game earlier today, 67-52. Now on the men's side, the Beacons with the lead at the half. It's 40-34. And this is on pace to be in the range of a normal RIC game rather than a normal Beacons game. As we mentioned pregame, a higher scoring team. Beacons a better defensive team. And so far they are playing at RIC's pace and doing it quite well, as we see the offensive rebound get taken by Shion Darby. Darby goes in. A lot of defenders, and he can't make it happen. And just not paying attention after the fact. Darby definitely could have picked up his own rebound there, but Sinelli gets on top of it. Boyd steps back, puts it in. Michael Boyd scores the first points of the half. So an 8-point lead now for UMB. Jacobs dribbling around, finds Batista. Jacobs gets it back, and that one goes off the hands of Vezele and out of bounds. Looks like the pass was tipped and was a little too fast anyway, and Vezele got his hands on it but couldn't corral it. So Beacons will get the ball back. They lead by 8 minutes into the second half. Starting five out there for the Beacons. Mitchell to Sinelli. Sinelli puts it in. It is those two out there with Boyd, Burris, and Munroe for the Beacons. Jacobs for three. Got it. Keyshawn Jacobs hits the three, trying to keep RIC in somewhat of close range. 44-37 the score now. 7-point lead for the Beacons. Munroe sets the screen. Boyd goes in. A lot of defenders. Munroe gets the rebound. Looking for the putback, and he got it. Mark Munroe having a big day in the paint. So with that putback from Munroe, it is now a 9-point lead once again. Munroe having a great day in the paint. Offensive rebounds. Lots of points. Played well on defense, too, as Sinelli gets the steal. He had plenty of time to get it across half court, but tries to rush it, ends up losing it to Batista, who hands it off to Darby. And Darby will get some points on the board with that one. Charles Mitchell over to Michael Boyd. So the Beacons will try again. They lead by 7 again, 46-39. High shot right there from Mitchell. Not quite going to work. And it looks like we get a foul on the floor. Referee waving off the shot. That is the third foul of the day on Michael Boyd, so in a little bit of foul trouble at this point. 17 minutes remaining in the game. A lot of time left for Boyd to avoid fouls. 23 on the shot clock as they inbound the ball after the foul. First team foul for either side in the second half. Not too many fouls in the first half. Neither team hit the bonus until the final moments of the first half as Tim Dang hits a three. He's been so dangerous from out there. And having a center who can shoot threes like that is such a scary thing. Boyd, Sinelli. Sinelli puts it in. Good pass from Boyd. Had a bit of an opportunity for a layup, but instead he finds Sinelli, who was closer to the basket, had a better matchup, and Sinelli puts it in. So 6-point edge again for the Beacons. They try to pick Darby's pocket there. He does hang on to the ball. Draws the foul. So that is the third foul on Sinelli as well. And that is one of the other dangers of such a small rotation, is for both sides, if anyone gets into foul trouble, you really don't have a lot of choices to replace them. So they will replace Sinelli with Mariano Rodriguez for now. Michael Boyd is still out there. They don't really have anyone to put in for him at the moment. So Sinelli with 3 fouls, Boyd with 3 fouls, Sinelli on the bench, Rodriguez comes in for him. Darby puts it in. And Boyd is the main player defending Darby. So if he ends up having to leave the game, that would certainly be a big problem for them because he's been the main way that they're keeping Shion Darby in check. Boyd, not quite. Tim Deng gets the rebound. Taken away. Rodriguez intercepts it. Mitchell, back to Boyd. Mitchell, open 3. Just missed. Long 3 from Jacobs, and that one was a little ambitious even for his range. It went last off the leg of Deng. And that is going to be a timeout here with the Beacons leading 48-44. UMB will get the ball back. And we have 15 and a half to go in regulation of this one. Beacons on top by 4.
Psychology is about understanding the individual and understanding the mind. The main reason why I want to combine psychology and business degrees is because I want to understand the business decisions that are made. I'm Nurçin Çelebi. I'm from Turkey originally. I'm a senior at the 5-year BA to MBA program at UMass Boston. I think in management, the biggest mistake you can make is to not listen. So I want to be able to step into a company and say, here's what you're doing now, and here's how you can improve it. I moved here when I was 16 for high school. Moving from Turkey, it was a rough journey for me because when you don't really speak the language that well, and when you don't really fit in the crowd, it's very easy to disappear. But I decided not to give up, and UMass helped me. I wanted to be able to improve myself. I wanted to be able to try new things. And I think UMass gave me a really good head start on that.
Welcome back, everyone. We're back from the timeout. Beacons with the ball and a 48-44 lead. Dangerous pass, but Boyd able to hang on to it. Boyd down low from Munroe, draws the foul. So Tim Deng called for the foul. The shot clock will go back to 20. That is, it's actually going to be called off the ball on Keyshawn Jacobs. Looked like they were calling the contact down low, but it was a play off the ball. Mitchell just missed. Long rebound. Eventually taken by Tim Deng. And a foul on the floor. Deng fouled again. And that is going to be the first foul of the day on Charles Mitchell. And yet another foul called on the floor when someone may or may not have been in the act of shooting. RIC maybe rightfully a little upset about how many of those have not gone their way today. Inbound play here. Darby with the ball. Gives to Deng. So it'll be Mariano Rodriguez covering Darby now. Foul before he started the shot. That'll be on number 0. That's Rodriguez. Second foul on Rodriguez today. That's 4 team fouls in the second half now. So getting a little uncomfortably close to the bonus early on here, just 5 minutes into the half. An alley-oop play right there. Fancy pass to Vezele, and he will put it in. So down to a 2-point lead for the Beacons, and their offense has been slow for a few minutes now. The defense has kept the lead for the most part, but the offense is going to need to start up again. Rodriguez finds Mitchell. Mariano Rodriguez for 3. He got it. Big corner 3 from Mariano Rodriguez, and the lead goes back to 5. Rodriguez has hit some clutch threes this year. Been such an important part of this team off the bench. But Munroe knocks it down, takes it away. Big steal for Mark Munroe. Beacons taking it back the other way. They lead by 5 already. Trying to expand that. Mitchell to Rodriguez in the corner again. Not quite. Burris, offensive rebounds. Mitchell for 3, not quite again. Munroe has it. Another offensive rebound. Oh, and Mitchell came flying in but couldn't quite reach the height of Vezele. And I think that is going to be another foul called on the floor. The coach cannot believe it. And that is valid at this point. Tom Glynn just not understanding what's going on here. There have been so many fouls called on the start of drives around that sort of questionable period where you don't know if it's going to be a shooting foul or a foul on the floor. And every single one of them has gone against RIC. Every single one that's been questionable. So while I don't think any of the calls have been overtly wrong, can certainly see where their frustration is coming from with how consistently they have given free throws to UMB and none to RIC. But Darby with a step back 3. And that'll bring him back within 2. So they end up getting more points than they would have from free throws. And we will go to a quick timeout here. Beacons still ahead, but only by 2, 51-49. Hello again, we're back from the timeout. Beacons with the ball and a 2-point lead. Both teams keeping this one close. Just over 13 minutes to go in regulation. Sinelli over to Boyd. Foul off the ball on, I believe, Darby. Second team foul. Not on Darby, it's on Tim Dang. So that is the third foul on Dang. So he hits 3 fouls. Sinelli and Boyd both at 3 fouls for the Beacons. Sinelli drives in. Gets it to go. Dason Sinelli puts it in, driving along the baseline. Caught Tim Dang off guard. Got past his defender and then puts it up and inside of Dang. So 4-point lead again for the Beacons. Jacobs, long 3. Great shot from Jacobs again. And you just cannot give him an inch out there. He seems to be able to hit shots from just about anywhere on the court. Mitchell, hit from behind just barely. Minimal contact, but contact nonetheless. And the Beacons will retain the ball. First foul of the day on Batista. Some discussion between the referees. They'll move the inbound play up. Sinelli will inbound to Mitchell. Boyd. Burris to Sinelli, just in and out and back in. Sinelli somehow gets that one to fall. Looked like it had rolled out of the rim, but Dason Sinelli gets the 3 to go. Darby to Vezele. Dang for 3. Not quite this time. The 3-point shooting on both sides so potent right now, and from so many different sources. as Boyd drives in. Hits the fadeaway there. So 2 more as Michael Boyd puts it in. 58-52 is the score. Beacons up by 6. Very long 3 from Jacobs, almost hits. Offensive rebound. Jacobs gets it back. Step back around Burris. Offensive rebound again. Not quite. Sinelli had it knocked out of his hands by Vezele, and they'll give the ball to the Beacons. Anchormen thought it was their ball, but UMB will get it back. And that will take us into a timeout. So 11:41 remaining on the clock in regulation. Score is 58-52. Beacons up by 6, and they'll
I
have
came from a
possession when we
working
get back.
class family. I grew up in a hard-edged section of Lowell, Massachusetts, and I lived with my 6 siblings and my parents in a 4-bedroom house that had 1 bathroom. I knew that the only way that I was going to get to where I wanted to get to was if I got a high-quality college education, and I had the University of Massachusetts right in my hometown. It made a difference. I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I think with that comes a special responsibility as a steward, as a protector. Every student that I see that walks through the door, I mean, I see myself. I was exactly where they are now. I had their same challenges, their same aspirations, their same dreams. And it makes me want to fight for them. It makes me want to make sure that they get every opportunity that I got. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
Welcome back, everyone. We're out of the timeout. 58-52 is the score. Beacons on top. Burris in the corner for 3, and he got it. Big 3 from Tommy Burris. And the 3-point shooting really catching on for UMB now. We've seen 3s from so many different players here already in this half. Rodriguez and Sinelli contributing. Now we get one from Burris. And now some of the RIC crowd getting in on it. Another foul on the floor. Still waiting to see who the foul is on. We've not seen anything on the board. Harris asking for an explanation. And that's going to be on Charles Mitchell. That is his 3rd. I thought that was his 2nd. I think he thinks so too. I'm pretty sure that was only his 2nd foul. Well, we'll see. Darby for 3 over Boyd, misses. Rebound taken by Munroe. Mark Munroe continues to have a very good day in the paint. 9-point lead for the Beacons after the 3 from Burris and the misses on the other side. Boyd driving in. Charles Mitchell. Sinelli to Boyd. 10 to shoot. Boyd draws the defender off Mitchell. Mitchell driving in. Not quite. Rebound Burris. He's got to put it up. Off the rim. And a foul on Vezele before Burris could get there for the rebound. 4th team foul. Both teams likely to hit the bonus. Rhode Island College already almost there. Beacons have fouled 6 times this half, 1 away from the bonus. More importantly, that is the 4th foul on Tim Dang, 1 away from fouling out of this game, and they do not have a replacement for his size. It'll probably be Vezele moving to center and him going one-on-one against Munroe. Boyd goes in, draws the foul on Vezele. We might have just gotten a technical call as well. Couldn't initially see what the ref did. Yep, so we will get technical foul shots here. Charles Mitchell will be selected to take these. RIC clearly as a team not happy with the refereeing today, but that one's preventable. So Charles Mitchell will go to the line. Hits the first one. And misses the second. So Charles Mitchell, 1 of 2 on the technical foul shots. Now we will get the regular free throws from Michael Boyd, because there was a shooting foul before the tech. Jaden Arold will come back into the game, it looks like. It's a short bench for sure. Colin Highland, the freshman, is also, looks like he may be coming into the game at some point. He's the only one who's even taken off his overshirt on the bench. As more of the bench may come out eventually. Vezele will rest for now. Arold comes in for him. They are not replacing Tim Deng. He will stay out there on 4 fouls. He's got 10.5 minutes left of trying to contest with Munroe and friends in the paint. And he's sitting on 4 fouls. So Beacons get a few of their free throws to go. They lead by 11. Deng for 3. And he's going to make every minute count if he's going to foul out of this game. Tim Deng hitting another 3. And the lead goes back down to 8. Screen set by Munroe. Boyd gets some space. Rebounded by Deng. Officially halfway through this second half. And a foul early on the drive on Sinelli. This will be a 1-on-1 now for Darby. That is 4 fouls on Sinelli. He will check out. Rodriguez will come in. And Burris will replace him on the rebounding position. First one misses. He will not get the second free throw. Munroe gets the rebound and draws the foul. And that'll be a 1-on-1 for him. So that is foul number 3 on Keyshawn Jacobs, who's been quieter in the second half. A couple of those long-range threes. Vezele checks back in for Batista. Munroe misses the first one, so neither side converting anything off the 1-on-1s. Both teams into the bonus with 7 fouls now. Darby, tipped away by Burris. It was supposed to be a pass, I believe, but either way, Burris got his hand on it. Charles Mitchell going the other way, hands off to Munroe. Just missed. Mark Munroe had it. Off the rim. And Keyshawn Jacobs will get in there under Tommy Burris and put it in. So a 6-point deficit now for RIC. They bring it back a little bit closer. Beacons 63-57 right now with a little over 9 minutes to play in regulation. Boyd with Munroe. Munroe gets the offensive rebound and another putback from Mark Munroe. And he has been absolutely dominant in the paint. And again, Deng sitting on 4 fouls, so 1 has to play more cautious. And 2, if he fouls out, that leaves maybe 7 or 8 more minutes where Mark Munroe will have even less competition inside. Good lay-in right there. We'll bring it back to 65-59. Zilu getting ready to check back into the game. Boyd still sitting on 3 fouls, has not picked up another one since. Charles Mitchell, knocked away by Vezele. Double teamed against the sideline, and he'll get rid of it. Good steal from Benjamin Vezele. Darby, driving in. Draws the foul on the floor, so it'll be a 1-on-1 again. So both teams getting into some foul trouble now. That is 3 fouls on Mariano Rodriguez. So more players in foul trouble for UMass Boston. Potentially the most important player in foul trouble, though, Tim Dang for RIC. Because as I mentioned, if he goes out, not really anyone to replace him at center. He's played pretty much the entire game to this point. And the first free throw will go for Shion Darby. And Darby 2 for 2. So the lead is back down to 4. Mitchell out there with Lou, Burris, Rodriguez, and Boyd as they've gone with a small lineup here. Munroe taking a break. Munroe and Sinelli on the bench. Boyd is blocked, goes out of bounds. Batista will check in for Errold. And it's the starting 5 back out there once again for Rhode Island College. Mariano Rodriguez to inbound, 15 seconds to shoot. Very small lineup out there for the Beacons. Biggest player, Zilu at 6'3". Boyd pulls up, jumper falls. Great mid-range shot from Michael Boyd. He does it again. He has really taken over here in the second half offensively, keeping the Beacons in the lead. Darby, through some contact, puts it in. So Shion Darby has decided to try to take over this game on the offensive side for RIC. And it's working decently well so far, but they've got to have some defensive stops for him to get them back into this one. Still 67-63, plenty of time left, 7.5 minutes to go. Boyd, Charles Mitchell. Almost lost it, now he does lose it. Mitchell able to dive on it, gets it out to Lou. Lou finds Rodriguez. Rodriguez for 3, got it! Mariano Rodriguez beats the shot clock and puts it in for 3. Huge play from the Beacons. Charles Mitchell scrapping to keep that ball alive. Finds Z. Lou somehow. Lou sees Rodriguez across the court, and with 3 seconds left on the shot clock, Rodriguez gets the ball, turns around and hits a 3. And we will take a quick break here with a 70-63 Beacons lead. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. 7 minutes to go in regulation here. 7-point lead for the U.S. Boston Beacons. And a tipped alley-oop pass somehow still gets to Vezele, and he puts it in. So 70-65 now. Boyd. Munroe back out on the court. Rodriguez to Burris. Charles Mitchell, 10 to shoot. Over to Munroe. Draws Deng into the air and then hits the easy lay-in. Good pass from Charles Mitchell. And Mark Munroe converts back to a 7-point lead. Darby back out to Vezele, looking for a 3 initially. Steps back. Keyshawn Jacobs. Step-back jumper will hit for 2. And the lead continues to fluctuate and sits at 5 right now. Mitchell with some good dribbling to avoid that pressure from Batista. Boyd happy to run a little bit of time off the clock, slow the pace down a little bit. Double screen. Boyd ends up matched up with Vezele, 10 to shoot. He's got Burris, hands it off to him. 3 from Burris is short. Hard collision right there. Batista went down very hard. Burris, Rodriguez, and Batista all ran into each other. And it's going to be a foul, I believe, on Burris. And Batista is still on the ground. And he will get up, and it looks like stay in the game for now. And it looks like his left hand that he's trying to work out there. Gonna see if he can stay in to shoot the free throws. Jason Sinelli comes back in for Tommy Burris. Sinelli sitting on 4 fouls. 5:42 to go. Batista still looks a little shaken up, but he will remain in the game for now. Again, injuries at this point, not much they can do about it on either side. We've seen 6 players from RIC, 7 from UMass Boston. And he does hit the first free throw. So now a chance to bring this back to a 1-possession game for Jonathan Batista. Batista, a little bit short. Sinelli with the rebound. Charles Mitchell, haven't seen much from him offensively in the second half as far as scoring. He's done a great job working the ball around and passing. Boyd drives in, collects, shoots, a little bit short. Rodriguez gets it. Big rebound from the freshman. And it's another possession for the Beacons. Charles Mitchell working against Vezele. Pass goes down low to Munroe. 7 to shoot. Munroe driving in. And he got it! Mark Munroe does it again. Under 5 minutes to go, and the Beacons are back up by 6. Mark Munroe having an incredible day in the paint. And with the injury to Malik Lorquette, who's usually the other center on this team, those two trading off minutes, Lorquette often being the starter. Munroe, in his absence, doing a spectacular job, although Jacobs on the other end will put it in for a long 2. And that brings it back to 74-70, and that will lead us to a timeout. 4:37 on the clock. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity. There's a lot of people. Here there's a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We're just about to get out of this timeout. 4:37 on the clock. Beacons with a 74-70 lead, and they have the ball. Mitchell working against Vezele. Mitchell driving in, fadeaway, misses, just barely. Mitchell still without a point in the second half. Darby, blocked by Mitchell. Oh, called a foul. Late call, but foul called on Charles Mitchell. And we'll see if that's his 3rd or 4th foul. It should be his 3rd, but I missed one at some point, and he did too. He was asking the ref about that last time when it showed his 3rd foul. But that is his fourth. And they do have some guards on the bench. But obviously he is such a key part of this team, as Darby hits the first free throw there. So now officially into the double bonus for the Anchormen. Second free throw, no good from Darby. 3-point lead. Beacons with the ball, up 74-71. Boyd. Driving in. Boyd, no good. Tipped away by Deng. This time he does get it away from Munroe. It looked like Munroe had another shot at a putback. Now going back the other way. Jacobs over to Batista, down low for Deng. Deng, blocked. And a foul on Vezele, pushing Mitchell to the ground before the rebound. So that'll be a foul on Benjamin Vezele. That is his fourth. And we get more people in a lot of foul trouble. Sinelli, Mitchell, Vezele, and Deng, all on 4 fouls as we take another timeout. We'll be back with you in just a moment. We are back here with some free throws coming up from Charles Mitchell. This will be a 1-and-1. Beacons in the single bonus still. Mitchell was fouled on a loose ball foul after the shot missed at the other end of the floor. So that will lead to free throws. Let's see if he can convert the 1-and-1 here. Misses the first one. So not a great outcome for the Beacons, as they essentially just give the ball right back over to RIC after that miss. And that's the weird thing about 1-and-1s at this point in the game. We get a foul on Mariano Rodriguez. 2 shots coming up for Shion Darby. So Darby to the line again. He's been at the free throw line a lot tonight, with mixed success. Not particularly great night shooting from the foul line. See if he can hit these 2 here. RIC trails by 3. 3:36 to go in the game. He misses the first one. Tommy Burris will come back into the game for the Beacons. Darby for his second free throw. And that one falls. So 74-72. Beacons with a 2-point lead over the Anchormen. 3.5 to play. UMB with the ball. It is Sinelli, Mitchell, Burris, Munroe, and Boyd against Darby, Jacobs, Deng, Batista, and Vezele. Sinelli. Offensive foul called on Dason Sinelli. And the ball will go back over to the Anchormen. And that is 5 on Sinelli, more importantly. So Sinelli is out. They are down 1 of their 7-man rotation for today. Mariano Rodriguez will come in. Zilu will be the lone man left on the bench as far as players who have actually appeared in today's game. They do still have more players, but no one who they have gone to yet in this game, and it doesn't look like anyone else plans on coming in anytime soon. Darby misses. Putback from Vezele. Ties the game with 3 minutes to go. Tight game back and forth here. We are now tied at 74. Beacons are down Dason Sinelli. Mitchell. Boyd. Missed. A lot of contact, no calls. Vezele gets the rebound. 2.5 to play. Tie game. Quick pass down low for Vezele. He scores over Rodriguez, and the Rhode Island Anchormen are back in the lead. And that will lead to an immediate timeout from Coach Jason Harris. So we will take a break with 2:24 remaining in regulation. 76-74, Rhode Island College on top. And as we come out of the timeout, Beacons with the ball and a 2-point lead with under 2-point deficit rather, with under 2.5 to play in regulation. Charles Mitchell out there with Boyd, Rodriguez, Munroe, and Burris. Sinelli has fouled out. Boyd misses, tipped out of bounds, and it is the Anchormen's ball. And there's corrected by another referee. Certainly looked like that one was off of RIC. So the Beacons will keep possession. 2:06 to go. Rodriguez will inbound. Charles Mitchell blocked by Vezele. Under 2 minutes to go. 76-74. RIC with a 2-point lead on the Beacons. Darby goes to the basket and he got it. The lead is up to 4. And the Beacons have to get something on this possession. Boyd, across to Burris. Rodriguez thought about it. Mitchell now, 10 to shoot. Rodriguez, long three, just missed. Mitchell almost got the rebound, but he ran into Batista. Batista somehow gets it. Jacobs for three, that would have sealed it, but he can't quite get it to go. Taken out of Rodriguez's hands. Boyd fighting for it. And can't tell if they called a foul or a jump ball. Let's see. I think they're going to call a foul here against RIC. So there is going to be a foul on the play. Going to the free throw line is Michael Boyd for what will probably be the last 1-and-1 of today's game. That is the 4th foul on Keyshawn Jacobs. If this ends up in overtime, all these fouls could become way more relevant, as we now have 4 people sitting on 4 fouls in addition to Sinelli, who's already fouled out. Michael Boyd, big free throw here. He got it. He'll get one more. We are inside of a minute. (78-75), Rhode Island College in front. Misses the second one. Batista gets the rebound. They will slow the game down as much as they can. If the Beacons can get a stop here, they can tie it with a 3. 15 to shoot. Darby driving in. Good defense and a rebound by Burris. Here come the Beacons the other way. Mitchell fouled hard from behind. And that's 5 on Keyshawn Jacobs. So Keyshawn Jacobs checks out of the game for the last time. That is the 5th foul of the day for him. Jaden Arold will come in. Deshaun Tengbe potentially getting ready to come in if they need a replacement on the bench. Charles Mitchell for 2 big free throws. Hits the first one. Crazy game here, reaching its conclusion. 34.1 remaining. And Mitchell goes 2 for 2 when it matters. He needs just 2 more points to hit 1,000. And there is definitely a world out there where he does it with a game winner in this game. Batista for Vezele. Passes a little too high. Ehlers, not quite. Or Arold, rather. Oh, and a foul on Rodriguez. That is his 5th. Another foul out. Mariano Rodriguez is out of the game. And who's it going to be to replace him? It is Yancey St. Germain. We have not seen him the entire day, but Yancey St. Germain, the junior from Cambridge, Mass., will be checking into the game for the final 16.7 seconds of regulation. 2 free throws from Shion Darby. Big ones here. Got the first one. The second one would be big. They just lost one of their best three-point shooters in Mariano Rodriguez. So the Beacons would have fewer options for the 3. And he hits both. It's a 3-point lead. 16.7 left on the clock. And they foul. They foul when they're up 3. Always a debate, do you do that or not? They will make Boyd shoot the free throws rather than let anyone attempt a 3. And that is Jonathan Batista's 2nd foul, so he's done a good job staying out of the constant foul trouble that has plagued everyone else in this game. And now some big free throws for Michael Boyd. He hits the first one. Boyd, 2 for 2. A 1-point game again, and that'll lead us to a timeout. 13.4 to go. RIC has the ball. They lead 80-79. This game has come down to free throws, and neither team has faltered yet in these final moments of the game. Charles Mitchell, in the other storyline of today's game, is 2 points away from 1,000 now. He has 3 points in this second half, all from free throws. 1 of 2 on the technical foul earlier, and then 2 of 2 at his most recent trip to the line after the intentional foul that took Keyshawn Jacobs out of the game. So now with 13.4 to go, the Beacons looking for a free throw miss. If they can force a turnover, that's obviously the ideal situation. But if they cannot, they will have to foul. There's only 13 seconds left. And then they'll be hoping for a free throw miss. Shion Darby has been inconsistent from the free throw line overall today, but has hit quite a few in a row now that it really matters. Keyshawn Jacobs is actually the team leader in free throw percentage, but he is, of course, not an option as he is fouled out. So, RIC to inbound. Beacons will be defending it as tightly as they can. St. Germain is out there. Munroe is on the bench. It is Zilu out there to help defend. They get it to Vezele, wide open, and Zilu will get over there for the foul. So Benjamin Vezele will be the one shooting the big free throws here. 11.2 to go. Each progressive free throw becomes more and more important as Vezele converts on the first. 81-79. Second shot is good. 3-point lead again. Mike Mayer will check into the game for Vezele. Mayer out there with Boyd, Mitchell, Burris, and St. Germain. 8 seconds left. Mitchell gets fouled with 6.6 on the clock. So Charles Mitchell, a chance right here to hit 1,000 career points and to bring this game back within one. If RIC keeps playing this according to the way they want, UMB will never have a chance to tie this game because the goal is to continue hitting free throws and continue fouling. Jackson Zankin, the freshman, comes into the game for the first time with 6.6 left. Mitchell hits the first one. 999 career points for Charles Mitchell. Vezele will switch in for Yancey St. Germain in case this misses. Mitchell for 1,000. No good. And the immediate foul. 5.1 on the clock. And 2 more free throws coming up. I believe it's going to be Tim Dang. So Dang going to the free throw line. If he hits both of these, then the Beacons are most likely done. That would make it a 4-point game, and then as long as RIC does not foul, it's a 2-possession game. Tim Dang at the free throw line, trying to seal what has been a wild finish of a game, and he gets the first. (83-80). Dang. Short. Mitchell. 4 seconds left. Long shot. Just missed. Charles Mitchell was inches away from tying this game from half court, but instead that will be the final moment. And the Beacons fall in a heartbreaker to Rhode Island College, 83-80. A game full of nonstop action. A lot of free throws at the end, and a close game throughout the entire thing. And it is the Anchormen who come out on top, taking down UMass Boston for the first time since 2016, and for the first time here at the Clark Athletic Center since 2014. So that is going to do it for today's games. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll have a little bit more for you before we sign off for today. Interview with Coach Harris and some stats and highlights. But for now, 83-80 the final score. Rhode Island College comes out on top. Beacons fall to 7-5 in the conference. Rhode Island College improves to 8-5.
I'm Elizabeth Clavin, sophomore business management major from Edina, Minnesota. I love being a part of this volleyball team. Volleyball is what brought me to UMass Boston. I looked at our recruiting website one last time and saw UMass Boston on it, came out for a visit the next week, and it kind of hit all the boxes that I was looking for. In a good city, good academic school, good volleyball program. It had everything I wanted. Although it was far away from home, I knew this is where I wanted to be. Winning 6 back-to-back LEC titles is really a dynasty, I think, and Terry has really focused hard on recruiting and building this dynasty and continuing to build a program that can continue to win championships, and it's really lucky to be a part of something this great. Last year, I was the Little East Conference Defensive Player of the Year, All-Conference second team, NCAA Regional MVP of the regional tournament, ABC All-Region Honorable Mention, and New England Women's Volleyball Association All-Rookie Team and Honorable Mention. I think my favorite game would have to be playing in the regional championship last year. We played against a really good Williams team, and I think that match, we started off a little shaky and lost the first set. We've lost in the whole playoff season, and I think that kind of shook us a little bit. We came back firing, and we're ready to go those next couple games. Our coaches are bringing in a lot of really strong girls who want to make a commitment and make an impact in this program, and I think that is why we're continuing to do well and will continue to do well for the next few years. Being a student here has been really awesome as well. I've recently started taking more of my business classes and found that it's a good choice and a good fit for me. And eventually, I hope to open my own.
Hello, everyone. Olin Hayes here one more time with Coach Harris. And, Coach, tough loss today. Had the lead for a lot of the second half. What went wrong there in those last few minutes?
We fouled too much. Had a real hard time containing the ball. And then we get some really bad possessions on offense. Like, you know, a lot of one-on-one. The ball got stagnant, man. And, you know, those guys made some tough shots. Give it to them. And we kind of wilted a little bit with the lead under 3 or 4 minutes, man. That's on me. That's my fault. It's my loss. But, you know, I can't be letting those things go this late in the season. It just can't happen.
And you talk about the fouls. So many players in foul trouble on both sides, really. It became such a key part of this game. Was there any thought, do you think, on your side or on the other side of sort of expanding the rotation more, or did that not really come into your mind?
I mean, it's game 21. No, right? I mean, those other guys have put us in a good position, and, you know, we almost had to go a little deeper than we wanted to. I mean, we already went deeper than we wanted to. I mean, you know, you saw Rick celebrate. You know how much this game meant for them to win. I mean, we had won 10 straight games against them. I mean, like, they had seniors who had never beaten us in their whole career. You know, we got to find a way to choke those games out. I mean, we were up 10 twice and had a series of bad possessions and series of quick breakdowns, and, you know, they're pretty good. So they're going to make you pay, man, and just it's unfortunate to let this one go. This one's going to sit with me.
And you got a few games left in the conference schedule still. Still got some injuries. Is there any chance of Malik or Charlie coming back anytime soon, or no?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. You know, those guys got to get in and get more treatment than they're getting. We got to find a way to try to steal some days for us. You know, I don't know. And if not, we still got enough to win. You know, I'm banking on those guys not coming back, and that's how we got to prepare for it. And, you know, if we get Malik back, it's a bonus. And if we get Charlie back, it's a bonus. But either way, those guys, we shouldn't have needed those guys tonight, right? I mean, I think we're 15 points better than these guys, and, you know, we didn't prove it. So congrats to them. Good job.
Yep. Well, sorry about the loss today. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That'll be just about it for today's broadcast. We'll be back with some stats and highlights to finish things up. Hello, everyone. Olin Hayes back here with you one more time as we take a look at the final stats of today's game. And that shooting percentage really fell off for UMass Boston. The offense just not there in the second half. Free throws looked pretty bad on both sides, but looked really good down the stretch. But unfortunately for the Beacons, that favors the team who's in the lead when both teams were hitting all their free throws at the end. So the Anchormen were able to hit their free throws when it really counted to hold on. They kept that higher three-point percentage up there, 36%, whereas the Beacons fell down a little, 26.1%. Rebounds ended up pretty even, but Beacons had really controlled that in the first half. Munroe able to get fewer of those offensive rebounds in the second half, still very much contributing, but not to the level that he had been in the first. As we look at the team leaders from today's game, and Mark Munroe led the way on offense for the Beacons by quite a bit, 21 points. Charles Mitchell next with 18. Benjamin Vezele led the way for Rhode Island College. Rare to see someone other than Darby leading the way, but he's right there, 1 point back with 21. Vezele with 13 rebounds. Huge day for him on the boards and on offense. Batista leads the way with 7 assists. It was really a group effort from Rhode Island College. You know, only 6 players in the rotation, but they all did contribute quite a bit today. on the UMB side, Mark Munroe really had a fantastic day. 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 steals to go along with it as well. But it just wasn't quite enough down the stretch. And that is going to be it as we'll take a look at the upcoming schedule here for the Beacons. And their next game will be against Castleton University. That'll be on the road on the 12th, and on the 17th again on the road at WestCon. Their next game here will be on the 19th against UMass Dartmouth. So we will see you here again for that one. But that's going to be all for today. My name is Olin Hayes. On behalf of everyone else here on our production crew, thank you all so much for tuning in today. We'll see you next time. Have a good night.